Colorado.
Good morning, Vail, and welcome into today's episode of the show. I'm your host, Ross Leonhardt. It is Friday, and we got Friday vibes going on. It's the 31st of January. What just happened to the first month of 2025? It's all good. We're rolling right into winter. It's a beautiful sunny day. We're going to have a great weekend here in the Vail Valley. Grab that cup of coffee. We've got a great episode coming up. Good Morning, Vail starts right now.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
This weather report is sponsored by Grand Hyatt Vail. Indulge in the bold flavors of Makoto at Grand Hyatt Vail. Make your reservations today.
Welcome into the TVA Weather Center on this Friday morning. The sun is shining. It's 17 degrees to start the day, but it's going to warm up to a high of 43 degrees today. That is great news for some people, but if you're like me, we want more snow right now, okay? But it's all right. We're going to enjoy this sun right now. Some light winds today, nothing too crazy, which is great. And into the hourly, things really heat up around noon, up to 38 degrees. Sunny skies expected all morning with some mostly sunny skies into the evening. Tonight, 8 p.m., 30 degrees. So we're looking at some pretty warm temperatures today. Eagle, a high of 44. Avon, a high of 44. Vail, a high of 43. Denver, a high of 57 degrees, and lots of sunshine to kick off our weekend in the Rocky Mountains this weekend. Tonight, a low of 26 degrees with partly cloudy skies, and that sunset at 5:25, getting later and later every day here. Those winds staying pretty light, which is great to see, and into the rest of the weekend and next week. That's what I'm talking about, that stuff falling from the sky. Scattered showers possible tomorrow on Saturday and on Sunday. 50% chance Saturday, 30% chance Sunday. Temperature's pretty high up there, though, still in the 40s for the highs, lows in the 30s. We'll see what happens out there. So chance of snow this weekend. A prayer for snow this weekend as well. And then next week gets back to some sunny skies. Temperatures coming up a little bit Monday and Tuesday. And then another storm cycle possibly rolling in next Wednesday with a wintry mix. That's some great news because we've got some snow reports here. Beaver Creek's got 24 lifts open, 174 trails. That's 98% of terrain up at Beaver Creek. I'm up there almost every day. It's rocking and rolling. We are in the thick of winter right now. Beaver Creek starts operating at 8:30 every day and goes until 4. No new snow to report up there, but we got some on the way, hopefully. Beaver Creek's got 142 inches on the season so far with a base depth of 42 inches, which is a pretty solid base out there. Vail Mountain's got 31 lifts open. That's about 98% of terrain. 274 trails open at Vail, open at 8:30 a.m. No new snow over at Vail to report, but we got some on the way, hopefully. And Vail's rocking a 49-inch base right now. You know we're all about that base, and season total at 168 inches over at Vail. We are right in the middle of winter here, expecting some more snow, but enjoy today. It's going to be a nice sunny day, and we'll see what happens this weekend. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with the rest of the show.
Lens of the Day is brought to you by Eyepieces of Vail and Goggle Bar.
I love to hear that jingle because I love getting to nerd out about some great technology that can help you out there on the mountain. Now right here I've got the Dragon PXV goggle. This is a large fit goggle, so it's going to give you some great peripheral vision on the side of your face as that lens is nice and wide. This also comes with a very magical lens in it because this is a Luma lens, which means it's a photochromatic lens. So as you're out there enjoying the mountain, this lens will get darker. It is a light rose color now, but as that sun's making its way out, that lens will kind of shift colors and help you so that you can see better, so you can ski or snowboard better on the mountain. Now, if you are interested in getting your hands on this goggle, well, then make sure that you stop by any one of the great eyepiece locations here in our community, and that way you can bring home a photochromatic lens. That way you have a one-stop shop. You don't have to change your goggle lens too frequently, and you can just enjoy skiing or riding up there on the mountain. We want to thank Eyepieces of Vail for bringing you this Lens of the Day report. Make sure that you stop by if you have any vision needs. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Presents Nashville Roadhouse Live, where country meets rock and roll.
It's where I drank my first beer, where I found Jesus, where I wrecked my first car, I tore it all to pieces. Join us every week for more live performances right here on Nashville Roadhouse Live.
TVA Vail is proud to announce the Wacky Winter Reading Program. We're asking children of all ages, K and even the teenagers going up to 12th grade, read 10 books or 1,000 pages by April 30th, 2025. You can find all the details on our website, tva-vail.com. Thank you to our sponsor, the lovely Eagle Valley Library District, where you can go pick up your book and have a great time. Have a great winter from your friends at TVA Vail.
Daily Flash.
I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to
Mitch English and Andrea Jackson have co-hosted together for over a decade. And now, only on Daily Flash, they serve up a fast, fun, fresh perspective on the day's trending news and entertainment. Daily Flash offers the latest in pop news, celebrity gossip, fashion, health, wellness, and even some unscripted, irreverent, who knows what's next fun. Daily Flash with Mitch English and Andrea Jackson. Trending news and entertainment.
Good morning, Vail.
Today is a great day to inspire your heart with Art Day, and we have a great little interview with an artist up at C. Anthony Gallery. Let's take a look.
Up at the C. Anthony Gallery, there is an expedition of 5 generations of the Pissarro family, and it is the largest dynasty of generational artists. Well, I'm joined by the youngest generation, Leora Pissarro. Good morning, Leora.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm so wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us this morning.
My pleasure.
Now, for people who don't know the history of the Pissarro family, can you give us an inside look?
For sure. Somehow there are a large number of painters over 5 generations, 150 years, 4 generations above me. Most are not here anymore, but for those who I grew up with, it was a very vibrant, creative, intellectually stimulating atmosphere that covered all spectrum and all angles of the art world. So we have painters, art dealers, art historians, art critics, auctioneers, every kind of scope of the family works in art, and it's just been really inspiring. Really unique experience, and very humbling, very beautiful, very high energy, and always evolving and moving, and something I think was very contagious. I get asked a lot if I thought that art, the ability to be good at art was genetic. And I think it was more contagious than genetic. I think you tend to thrive in an environment that seems like happy and positive and enjoying something. So I was part of that environment, and it felt really inspiring to me.
Which I think is so wonderful, because you do come from such a long line of artists. Your mother is an artist, your grandfather is an artist, his father is an artist, and then Camille Pissarro, of course, is the leading legend of the family, which dates back so far into Impressionism. Now, as you grew up with such a family that was so rich in the history of the arts, what was it like?
It's a great question. It was always very colorful. It was moving at the speed of light. You know, I would see paintings being made in my mom's studio, and I would get very attached to those pieces. I loved them, and then they would leave, and you would get used to this fast-moving pace of seeing something go from an idea in your mind to a reality, to then the next idea coming in, and that one shifting and leaving. And my mom's studio was sometimes open, and I could go into it and pick up canvases and paint with her and be a part of the process with her. And it was sometimes closed, and it had a red light on it, and that meant don't disturb, and she was in a process. And we learned to respect that as kids, with, you know, her studio being in the house. We would go visit my grandfather. He lives in Ireland, her father, and he was an incredible teacher for me, and someone who still paints in his late 80s, and it still teaches, but, you know, like never, I think, doesn't miss a day without painting. And I have, you know, two siblings, and they are both very creative. They work in art dealing and in set design and in clothing, but they didn't pick up the medium of painting in the same way that I did. And I just really loved it. I wasn't necessarily always very good at it, but I enjoyed it. And that was a complicated experience to have, because when you come from a family that has legendary painters in it, you want to be really good, but you're also young and you're learning. And that was part of my process too, was kind of understanding my own pace and allowing myself to train outside of the eyes of the public and what people might think before I had ever even really like published work.
Which I would imagine has to be scary, because coming with such a powerful last name means that there are high expectations, but your work is so unique and it's so beautiful from the entire family scope. There's so many different varieties to choose from. So who is the most influential artist in your family, and how did they inspire your art?
There's maybe a tie between two. I think my mom is my most influential, because she was my main teacher. Each generation was taught down. So she grew up with her grandfather, Pulimil, and she was taught by him. But because I worked so closely with her, she trained me from a very young age. I was homeschooled in painting from the age of 4. And I love the way she thinks, and I love the way she operates in handling art, and just like her mindset is so brilliant. And I love her work. But then I also love Pulimil, who is my great grandfather, and his work just resonated with me the most. I would have breakfast in our dining room, and there was 4 paintings surrounding the dining room of his river scenes from Normandy, and I just looked at the reflection of water and the green in the way that he did it. That was so exciting for me. I really, really, really felt really inspired by his work. I looked at it for hours every day.
And then, of course, your family is most known for their work in Impressionism, which reflects reflection, light, and vibrations. Now, how has that translated to your work?
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting question because the world has changed so much since Impressionism was founded. Part of why Impressionism was possible was the invention of the paint tube and paint being portable for artists to go outside for the first time en plein air and paint outside. And now we have AI. Like, we're in 2 million different worlds. It's not even comparable. But I love the intersection of art and technology, and I overlay a lot of my landscapes with projection mapping and create these impressions of light using a projector. And I was given the reflection recently that my work was somewhat of a contemporary impressionism, that I was using technology to give the impression of fleeting moments of light in a similar way that they had. And I had never thought about that because we've moved so far from Impressionism. We've just seen so much change. I still hold a lot of the themes that I grew up with. My work is focused on landscapes. It's focused on light and on the natural world. But I think the use of the technology and the way that I'm using it does speak to some of those terms that were founded back when Impressionism started.
Which I think is so incredible. What a great way to go back to your roots and then modernize it. Your work is spectacular. I love the message that you put behind your work as well. I have fallen in love with the Pissarro family and each and every generation, from Camille to Paul Emile to your grandfather Ash Claude to your mother's work. I'm so excited to see you up at the St. Anthony Gallery. So you're coming for the weekend of the 14th and 15th in February.
That's right, yeah. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course, and then people can come, they can meet you, they can hear your stories and chat with you about the artwork from 4 to 8 p.m. every day, correct? Well, those 2 days.
Yes, for those 2 days up there, and I'm always happy to talk to anyone at any point about any questions. It's part of what makes, I think, this family so special, is that it's very accessible and there's a lot of beautiful stories that were shared with me that I'm always happy to share too.
Well, and you come from such a long line of great teachers, and so to be able to spread the knowledge that you have then learned is incredible.
Yeah, definitely. I think the teaching aspect has been a really big part of how this family continued to paint for so long. I think it's because Camille, as well as an incredible painter, was first and foremost a teacher. And so was my grandfather and my mom, and I teach classes in New York, and I teach more how to enjoy something that you want to be good at, that you're not necessarily good at, rather than teaching the actual practice of the medium. I think we disregard things when we're not good at them, and I think I have a lot of students in my studio in Brooklyn who end up being able to find something that they enjoyed in the process of painting without having to become a full-time painter.
Which I think is so breathtaking.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm always open to teaching anyone, so that's something that is there. It's a fascinating journey into what we want to make and what we want to share.
I agree, and I think it's so wonderful that you're keeping the legacy alive through this just large dynasty of artists that you come from.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate your question.
Of course. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, giving us all of this great information, and we can't wait to see you up in Beaver Creek.
Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you too. See you soon.
Yes. Make sure that you make your way up to Beaver Creek on February 14th and 15th. That way you can meet Leora Pissarro up at the St. Anthony Gallery. It's located next to the ice skating rink in the Gallery Promenade. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Vail.
It's time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
How do you make Anthony Edwards the face of your franchise if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? We'll get into that. And we say hello to our good friend Matt Verderam, who hangs out with us from SI.com. Their NFL insider, one of them, is hanging out with us on the program today. Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She put up a 40-burger, hits the game-winning three as time expires. Let's turn our attention to the Denver Broncos, one of the NFL's most dysfunctional situations.
The Sports Wrap with Jason Page.
Discover the perfect blend of style and performance in your eyewear at Eyepieces. With convenient locations in Vail Village, Lions Head, Beaver Creek, Edwards, Basalt, and Snowmass, Eyepieces is the destination for luxury eyewear and high-performance optics. From iconic brands to the latest in sport frames and snow goggles, we have the eyewear to match your mountain lifestyle. Plus, we offer prescription lens services, including eye exams, custom lenses, and prescription goggles for your mountain adventures. Visit us today to experience the art of vision. Eyepieces, serving the Vail Valley's vision needs for over 40 years.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back. Up next, we've got a little recipe for a spinach artichoke dip that might be great for the next/last football game in a couple weeks, or any tailgate group gathering you have coming up. Let's take a look at this recipe.
Well, back in the kitchen, I am here with my wonderful brother, actor Greg Perot, joining me here, and we are going to make our family favorite thing to order when we're out at the restaurant, which is spinach and artichoke dip.
Let's go.
Every time we go out to eat, you know, Greg and Dad are always like, what dip are we getting as a family? So we're going to make spinach and artichoke dip because it's one of our favorites, but Greg is also, well.
We actually get to eat this, right?
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely going to eat this. You know, 8 o'clock in the morning, not a big deal to have spinach and artichoke dip. But this is a really great recipe. We actually, Greg is, because he's an actor, he has to be very conscious of like what he eats and what he drinks. And so we like to make a little bit of a healthier, more protein forward version of this recipe. So we've got all kinds of things. We are using some cream cheese because it just makes it a little bit more creamy.
Gotta have it.
Gotta have the cream cheese. But the base of this recipe starts with the Greek yogurt. We've got previously frozen thawed spinach. So we're gonna have to wring out all of the water within the spinach here. We've got the artichokes, minced garlic. Now you can just buy it at the store just like this in the jar, or you can use a garlic clove. And then we've also got some fresh Parmesan and mozzarella to top everything together. So are you ready to rock and roll?
Let's go.
All right, let's make it. So Greg, I'm gonna ask you, if you can, we're gonna do about 1/3 of a cup of the Greek yogurt. We're gonna add it into our green bowl here.
Got it.
So while Greg is adding that in, we'll also do some shredding of the mozzarella cheese. So this is only for the top of it. We're not going to put the mozzarella cheese into our bowl here. So we've got to basically blend all of the cream and the cheese and all of that into one before we add in the artichokes and the spinach.
Does it have to be super specific?
It doesn't have to be, you know, and just kind of throw that in
Feel it
there.
with your heart a little bit?
Yep, just whatever you feel like it feels right. So we've got our oven preheated to 375.
A little more for,
Why not?
For some love.
We're just going to go ahead. And you know what? The best thing about a dip is you can kind of just throw things together and see what happens. And now I'm going to have you shred our cheese here.
Okay.
We don't need a lot, so just enough to sprinkle on top. We've got a 9x9 pan as well. Now, the thing when you thaw out your spinach, you need to make sure that all of the water is completely drained from it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to basically just take this, and it looks pretty good, but we're going to take about, I don't know, I'd say probably about a cup of spinach here, just like we like to do it.
Test this out.
About 10 ounces. Of course, he's already eating the cheese. That's the one problem with being in the kitchen with Greg. But I say, you know what? You are like the master of making dips. So we'll see how this goes. What's your favorite dip to make?
Buffalo chicken.
I wouldn't let him say, we weren't doing that. But his next favorite, what would you say is a spinach and artichoke dip?
Probably.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, did I just ruin it?
No, he didn't. I love it. I love it. So our spinach is pretty thawed out, but what I'm going to do actually is take a paper towel, which is why we've got these paper towels here, and we're just going to put a little bit in here, and we're going to wring it out. It should be good to go. But Greg, while you're doing that, what you can do for me is actually put about 1/3 of a cup of the Parmesan into the bowl as well.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and rinse out some of this spinach. We're going to squeeze it. Make sure it's nice and I guess you could say water-free. Looking good there. Okay, now Greg, looking good as well. So if you want to, we've got a hand blender. Well,
Okay.
I'm squeezing out the spinach. Greg is going to take the hand blender and mix everything together, just like that.
There you go.
And then we'll add a little cream cheese to your liking here in a second. Okay.
Ooh,
How's it looking?
this is already starting to come together.
All right, so now if you want to take that cream cheese packet and just put in what you feel is right, you know, what your heart desires.
The entire thing.
Well, we're trying to keep it healthy here, so not the entire thing. I'm going to squeeze out just a little bit more. That spinach does have a lot of excess water because it was frozen, so we want to make sure that it is completely done. And then we'll just go ahead and open this cream cheese. Just put in what you want
Is
to.
there a trick to this? I always mess this up.
Yep, just like that. That looks good.
Squeeze it out. Just cut it.
Yeah,
and
just
squeeze
cut it and squeeze it, you know, as much or as little as you want to.
I'm going half. How about that?
We're going half. Okay, all right. It's going to be creamy. It's going to be cheesy. So I'm squeezing out the spinach.
Sorry. Sorry.
Bring your brother to work day was a bad idea. He starts cracking bad jokes. Just kidding. We're having a great time over here. All right, so I've got my spinach. As you can see, like it is definitely, we've got a lot of excess water that came out of that. So that's looking good, Greg. If you want to continue to blend all of the cheese together,
Okay.
we'll go there. All right, and then we'll add in the spinach. You can add that in. And while you add in the spinach, I'm going to go ahead over here and make sure that we get some of this artichoke. I'm going to drain a little bit of the juice out, but we just want to roughly chop it. Just like that. All right, you're crushing it. I like to keep my workstation clean while I am cooking. My brother, on the other hand, he explodes all over the kitchen when he's making a meal, but it's worth it. All right, moving this over here. We've got our mozzarella cheese, so it's looking great. Now I'm going to take some of these artichokes. We'll just take a quick little fork. How's it looking? Looks great.
Really good.
Yeah, you can go ahead and stop that. Then we'll add some artichoke into it and fold that in. All right, we're just going to pull some of it out. Now we have the marinated artichokes that you can get usually in like the pickles or the olive section of the grocery store. It adds a little bit of extra flavor. There we go.
She's stuck in there.
That's all right.
Okay.
All right, we're just going to pull some of these out. Now, the last piece that we're flinging dip everywhere. The last piece you can do is do a small spoonful of garlic.
Okay.
And then while you do that, I'm going to dice up these artichoke hearts. I'm pulling them all out here. That looks good to me.
What did you say that was? A tablespoon?
I'd say about almost. And we'll just blend everything in here in a second. We're just doing a nice rough chop, just like that, which is really, you don't need to do much because it's already kind of quartered from the jar. Looks good to me. All right. All right, you ready for this? Bring that bowl over here. I'm just gonna throw my hands just like that. What do you think? Should we put some more artichoke in it, or you think that's good?
No, that's good.
All right, mix it up, and then once he's mixed that up, we're gonna transfer it to our dish here and put it into the oven. Let me rinse these hands off really quickly.
It's actually pretty easy.
Yeah, easiest dip, it really is. All right, we've got my hands rinsed. Looks good to me.
Yeah.
All right, Greg, here we go. We're gonna put it into our dish here. This is a 9x9 baking dish. I'm gonna use my spoon. Want me to hold it for you?
I got it.
He's got it. All right, the man's got it, ladies and gentlemen.
Locked
He's got
in
it.
now.
He is locked in. As I said, dips are his thing. He loves to make a good dip.
I love to eat a good dip.
Yeah, it's true.
But
He likes to make a good one so that he can eat a good one. But I'd say, you know, we both kind of have we really like trying new recipes, and I think that stems from our mom and from the way that we grew up. You know, our mom teaches culinary arts, and so does our dad. He's a great chef in the kitchen as well, and so I think eating good food is like really part of our family DNA.
Yeah, that is true.
All right, looks good to me. We're gonna sprinkle on this mozzarella, just like that. We're gonna sprinkle it on top. As you can see, it looks great. Nice, delicious spinach and artichoke dip. Now we could put a little bit more on here, but I like to just kind of do just a nice little sprinkling on top. And then we pop it in the oven for 20 to 30 minutes, just until the cheese is bubbly on top. All right, we're gonna let it cook. By the end of our show, it'll be delicious. You can use any kind of apparatus to put it in your mouth. What's your favorite way to eat a dip?
Depends on the dip.
Depends on the dip.
Pita bread, chips, I don't know.
Peanut butter. What's your favorite
For that one? Ooh, I say tortilla chips.
Tortilla chips, all right.
Yeah.
Well, you can use vegetables if you're trying to keep it low carb as well. But excited to try one of our favorite family dishes, and we'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey Morgan. I'm with Ron Byrne & Associates. And today I'd like to welcome you to Mine House and Mi Casa, a premier bed and breakfast right here at the base of Beaver Creek Mountain. Let's go inside.
This property is currently being run as a bed and breakfast with 20 bedrooms, all with ensuite bathrooms. Right now we are standing in Mi Casa, and next door we also have Mine House. A wonderful opportunity to own a turnkey hospitality business, but it's also an opportunity to own it as a private residence. It can be sold all as one or in individual pieces, however you choose.
So now that we've had a chance to show you these two amazing properties, Mi Casa and Mine House,
We would love the opportunity to show you in person. Give us a call.
Coming at you from around the world. The biggest names in sports, entertainment, and business.
Here we go.
Yeah, there's no way.
Exclusive access and one-on-one conversations.
Yeah, you guys really did some deep research.
I don't think we should give him any more information.
In depth with Graham Bensinger.
From small towns to big cities and everywhere in between, we're covering the great things that are happening right now in the USA. This is Positively America with Ernie Anastas.
Each week, we're going to focus on the great things that are happening every day in the USA. We'll feature change makers.
In every older person, there's a younger person saying, how did this happen?
Innovators.
I talk about design the way some people might talk about like the person they're in love with.
Doers and dreamers.
You can use that recognition to pay it forward.
Ordinary Americans accomplishing extraordinary things.
When you smile, you receive one back most of the time.
We're going to prove to you that optimism and hope are paving the way to an even brighter tomorrow.
We've got a lot of programs that are specifically focused on the children of our fallen heroes.
At Positively America, our mission is to feature good news.
Hi there. Are you ready to explore famous neighborhoods from New York City to Kentucky? Watch The Neighborhood, with host Nicole Newman. Featuring famous people, unique history, and delicious places to eat and drink. Our viewers get an inside personal look at each neighborhood. With each episode we learn, grow, laugh, and live like a local, not just a visitor. Welcome to the neighborhood. Check your local program schedule and tune in.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome into the TVA Weather Center on this beautiful Friday morning. Lots of sunshine to start the day. 17 degrees at 8 a.m. We'll get all the way up to 43 degrees, though, for a high on this Friday. Mostly sunny skies. Winds 5 to 10 miles per hour today. Nothing too crazy. Into the hourly, things really heat up around noon, up to 38 and up to 41 at 4 p.m. before starting to come back down this evening with some partly cloudy skies rolling in at 8 p.m. and 30-degree temperatures tonight. Into the I-70 corridor, Eagle, Avon, both highs of 44 today. Avon Vail a high of 43. Denver 57, but lots of sunshine to kick off the weekend here in the Rocky Mountains. And tonight, a low of 26 with partly cloudy skies at sunset at 5:25 p.m. Partly cloudy skies out there. Into the rest of the weekend and next week, we got some chances of snow coming up. Tomorrow, Saturday, a 50% chance of scattered showers and snow, and Sunday, a 30% chance of some scattered showers and snow. Temperatures hovering around those 40s for the highs and in the 30s for the lows this weekend, and early next week, more sunny skies expected and the temperatures come up a little bit. So have a great Friday today with the sunny skies, and we'll see what happens this weekend. We're praying for snow, I'm not going to lie here. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more of the show.
Are you looking for a great pair of goggles or maybe some fashionable glasses? Well, then Eyepieces of Vail has got you covered, and I'm standing here with expert Bryce. Bryce, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you've got an array of goggles in front of us right now because you guys have the best variety of technology on the market.
That's definitely true. As you can see on the wall behind us here, we have 100+ goggles in different colors and different varieties and different styles that you can pick.
And that way there's something for everyone, a variety of price points too. So I think it's always important as people who wear glasses, and sometimes it can get a little hard to see out there on the mountain, contacts dry out. There's always a wide variety of issues. Let's talk about this one first.
Yeah, this is our newest selection in prescription goggles here. This is the Out of Electra. It has some really cool technology, a little electrochromic cell in the top there. And it'll immediately darken and lighten within 1/10 of a second if UV light hits it. So right now it's pretty light, but as soon as you took it outside and it was bright enough, it would immediately darken up. If you go back into the trees, it immediately lightens up. And we have the SKX goggles prescription system built into the back on this one, so we can actually put your prescription into this goggle.
Which makes it really nice and convenient, because if you're someone who maybe is like, oh, I just want those OTG over the glass goggles, you're going to have some fogging problems. This eliminates that.
That's right. We do offer that option for the people that do want it, but generally speaking, we don't recommend it. It is a little bit dangerous if you end up crashing, and you could end up breaking your glasses, scratching your face with your glasses. This is much more safe, much more comfortable, and it's a more integrated system and less prone to fog.
Which I think is wonderful. And then, of course, you've got an insert that will go into the goggle. So if there's a specific frame that you want, maybe for those style points, well, then you can add this into any goggle you like.
That's right. Maybe this isn't the goggle that you like so much. You like a certain color of a certain goggle, or you already have a goggle that you like. That's fine. We can still put your prescription in that. So we do a clip like this, and this can go into pretty much any goggle on the market. It just fits into the front of the frame like so. And boom, you have your prescription.
Which then makes it nice and easy. And also, if you're someone who maybe forgets your glasses, well, then you can pop that prescription out and use them like a nice little pair of glasses.
Sure, you can, yeah. It looks a little bit goofy, but you can walk around like this if you want to. It definitely works, no problem.
I mean, just if you need to see out there while you're walking around. And then, of course, there's so much new technology in goggle lenses and the way that they work. So let's talk about some of these other more fashion-forward goggles.
For sure. So some of the newest technology that we have in our goggle companies that we have here, Oakley's new Line Miner Pro series comes in a large and a medium. It finally has a magnetic lens swap with clips that lock it into place. So you hit two lenses, a highlight lens and a low light lens. really great to see that from Oakley finally.
Right, because they've kind of stuck with that prism lens technology, so it was a one-stop shop in a goggle lens, which was great, but maybe not light enough on those days like where you see some flat light.
Exactly. Yeah, it was great on most days, but some days you really did want to have that low light lens. So it's great that they finally came out with an option that does come with both.
And then, of course, the Anon. This is a system that everyone loves only because it's got so many wonderful magnetic features.
So Anon pioneered the magnetic lens swapping technology. So it's super easy to swap this lens. It just pops on and off with magnets. They also have a patent on their MFI technology, magnetic face mask integration. So this just pops on and off too. And everybody loves that. I mean, it makes a nice seal. You get nice and toasty when you have this up on a nice cold day.
And it makes it convenient. So if you're on the chairlift, maybe you're a chatty Cathy, you can pop that down, talk to your heart's desire, and then when you're hitting the slopes again where your face could freeze with some wind, you pop it right back on, and then you're nice and warm.
Absolutely. And if you're not a chatty Cathy and you want to remain anonymous, no one's going to know who you are.
There's no skin to be seen on your face. Now let's talk about this final goggle here.
So this is the newest iteration from Dragon. This new lens technology is their infrared lens tech. This is going to keep you cooler, actually. So it reduces the infrared rays coming in through the goggle, which is what actually heats up the air and your skin.
I mean, you learn something new every day. That's incredible. So this is a great array of goggles. Now, you not only have goggles, but you've got glasses galore, and then you've got everything from sun to prescription. So let's talk about some of the great brands that you carry.
We carry brands from, everyday ones like Ray-Ban and Oakley, all the way to ones that you don't necessarily hear about and are very hard to find, like Chrome Hearts or Jacques Marie Mage or Makita. Great selection. We have a ton of different stores here in the Valley, 3 different stores here in Vail Village, 1 in Lions Head, and 1 in Beaver Creek as well.
So many places for people to go shop. And then if someone is maybe in a panic, their prescription is slightly changed, their head is starting to hurt, you guys also offer help changing your prescription.
We sure do. We're a full prescription shop, so pretty much anything in our stores can be done in prescription. And we also have a doctor that comes in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Here in Vail, he comes in the afternoons, and then in Edwards, he can be seen in the mornings.
And I have personally seen Dr. G. I love him. This is where I get my glasses because it is a one-stop shop for literally all of your vision needs. Now, if people are interested to come shopping with you guys, what location are we at? Because this goggle wall is phenomenal. And what are your hours of operation?
This store is our Bridge Street store next to Gondola 1. We call it our Goggle Bar. It is open from 8:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day. That way you can get in your early mornings when you have to get up the lift at 8:30.
I want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, giving us all this great information, and inspiring us to get some new goggles.
Thanks for having me.
Make sure that you come to any one of the great eyepieces of Vail locations, chat with Bryce, get yourself some nice new goggles, maybe some new glasses, because it's all here and it's super convenient. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show.
Good morning, Vail.
Join us on board the Leadville Railroad Winter Express. Stay cozy in our heated lounge cars. Marvel at the stunning winter landscape. Sip delicious hot chocolate. Don't forget to check out our new specials. Book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
The season starts when Nate Dogg, Trailer Tom, and friends have started the season at Bartlett.
There it is, the white ribbon of living.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And on that very first chair, 2 very familiar faces who've been in line for 2 days.
My name is Nate Dogg, N-A-T-E, D-O-G-G-G-G.
My name is Trailer Tom.
Nate Nadler and Tom Miller live nearby.
I feared nothing but not getting first chair.
Second chair nightmare.
Yeah, second chair nightmare.
My goal is to continue to fight for this first chair as long as I'm physically able. First chair coming at us one more year.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. We are rolling right through winter, but there is so much more to do than just skiing and snowboarding, although we do love that. But joining us now, we have Tegan Davis with the Eagle Valley Library District. Tegan, how we doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing great. So obviously we got libraries located
Yes.
throughout our area here, but what's going on right now at the libraries?
Oh, everything.
Everything, as usual, yeah.
So we have programs for all ages, and I wanted to touch on the programs that we have for children. And everyone and anyone is welcome.
Cool.
So we have story times for babes, and what does that mean? So we have story times for babies, toddlers, preschoolers, and then we also do a family story time. We have our bilingual story time and our Spanish story time.
Amazing. What kind of books are they reading?
I know, because some people are like, well, they're babies.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things that you can do because we're trying to teach the 5 early literacy skills so that they're set up for success for kinder. And so we're teaching the parents these skill sets too so they know what to do with the babe when they're at home. So we got rhyming, we got singing, we have board books. Babies, you can start doing the lift flap, but toddlers really love the lift lip flap books where there's a surprise underneath. And then you're doing your rhymings, you're doing storytelling, and you're asking the kiddos, okay, what do you think's going to happen next? And that's more the preschoolers.
Oh, so fun.
So much fun. And they're just like, and they're like, I don't know. Or they'll tell you like this big long story about what they think is going to happen next.
So cool.
And so again, we're building those early literacy skill sets. So that's reading, writing, singing, playing, and talking. Those are 5 quick ones. And that's what, when you engage your child in those, they're set up for those skill sets to learn when they're in school.
So awesome, so awesome. And then who's reading these books?
Oh, so our librarians are. So
Sweet.
we do have professional librarians who've gotten their masters, and then we also have our children's specialists. So they're trained up on early child ready to read. And so that's taking story times and it's attaching the brain development to it. So we go in there with a purpose and an intent.
Awesome.
And yes, it's fun. And you might, there's lap sits where you're bouncing the baby, cuckoo.
Yeah, I love that.
But that's also helping the child learn rhythm. They get
Mhm.
the singing of your voice, and they are learning the sounds. And then when you are talking to a child, you're pausing, especially babies, because
Right.
you're giving them the opportunity, like, this is how we communicate.
Right.
And so that's all happening in our story times.
Oh, I love that. It's so fun. Yeah, when you're kind of working with them, it's really a back and forth,
Yes,
right? It's
yep.
not a one-way conversation.
Nope.
You got to give them a chance to come back at
Yep,
you, right? And
yep.
you kind of work on that repetition. I've been reading Digger Soars by Michael
okay.
Waite to my 3-year-old nephew.
Oh, fun.
And he loves that one. It's all these excavators
Yes.
and dump trucks and
Yes.
stuff, and he just absolutely loves it. So when and what time
Yes.
and how do they need to sign up? How do they get involved?
Okay, so evld.org is our website, and you'll see all the story times across our district. So Avon, Eagle, Gypsum. And what we do is we try to also align our story times. So if you can't make it to one, you can make it to another.
Nice.
So we're trying not to compete with ourselves because we do know families are going up and down the valley.
Right.
And you might not be able to make your home library, but you could make the next door neighbor's library.
Awesome.
And so everyone is welcome to these story times, even visitors. You can come on in because sometimes, the slope's a bit much and the littles need to come in. So, and even if we don't have a program going on, everyone's welcomed in the library. Our children's area is amazing. We have toys, we have things that are engaging, coloring, as well as we have manipulables and, of course, our books and lots of things for people to do.
Yes, so much going on, and every single library is just in a beautiful setting too.
Thank you,
Usually
and I know you visit lots.
Yeah,
so.
usually giant windows with beautiful views. Really a place to kind of escape the hustle and bustle of town, right? So awesome. What else is going on? It's a new year here, but what's going on?
And so as your children progress, we have our after-school programs.
Okay.
So we do have programs for elementary school students, and we make those STEAM-based, so science, technology, STEAM, because there's art, engineering, art, and math.
Okay.
Another 5.
Oh, yeah.
And so we incorporate those elements into our after-school programs, and they're really fun and they're interactive. And each library has it, again, Avon, Eagle, and Gypsum, and we do, again, different days. So if you can't make one, you can make another. We do like a heads up that you're coming so that we have enough materials prepared for your child.
For sure. And same thing, free for that one, the after-school program?
Yep, absolutely free.
So awesome.
Yep, so you can let us know that you want to join so we can prep, and then you're welcome to come.
And then evld.org .org is the website to get more information on that. That's so awesome. How many kids are showing up, or how many kind of how many people show up for these things?
So like story times, we can get over 40 people.
Wow.
And then with some of our after schools, it can get up to 25. That's why we want to know.
Right.
So not only so that we prep, but we also have enough staff to help facilitate that. And then our teens, so as you age, we still have things for you.
Good.
And so even our teen programs, we get like 15. And so it just kind of depends on the activity that the teens are doing. We solicit a lot of teen input to be like, what would you like to do? And so one of our teen groups were like, we're really interested in anime. Can we have an anime club?
Okay.
And so they do anime and pizza.
And we know someone who loves anime too
maybe
on the couch, right?
Maybe just a little.
That's awesome.
So I'm like, yes. So and then they get to kind of design what kind of programs that they would like to see at the library.
That's awesome. And then I'm sure we can keep going past teens here. There's literally something for
yes,
everyone.
Yes, there is something for everyone.
Yeah.
So we do have our adult programs. We're gearing up because we have a special thing coming up in February.
Yeah.
And at the moment, we do have our adult reading challenge. So if you're not doing that, you should try.
All right.
So it's a bingo board, and every time you complete a row, you get a prize. But the ultimate prize is if you do a blackout, you can put your name into the hat to win an adventure with mountain mushers here in Minturn.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, sorry, they're not in Minturn, they're Wolcott. Yeah, so mountain mushers, they were so kind enough to donate the final prize.
And that's dog sledding?
Yeah, dog sledding.
How cool.
Dog sledding, yeah.
How cool.
Yeah, so get your reading in, and then you can turn it in, and you get a chance to go for a dinner to go for a dog sledding.
Oh, how fun. What are you reading these days?
Oh my gosh, I'm all over the board.
Yeah.
Part of working at the library is like you get things and they're like, ooh, but this is so different. So I love serendipity.
Cool.
And just kind of shopping the shelves. I have this book and I had no idea who this person was, but this book is absolutely amazing. And he just goes out and he's a famous writer, and I can't think of his name right now, but part of his notes is that he would draw and he would write his poetry, and so this book is all about his notebooks, and so you get to see the poetry and the arts, and it's so beautiful.
So
it's so beautiful.
So awesome. Tegan, thanks so much for joining us. So much going on at our libraries. EVLD, that's Eagle Valley Library District.org. For schedules, to get in there, to let them know you're coming, but definitely highly recommend it. Tegan, thanks so much for joining us. Have a great rest of January here.
Yeah,
and we'll see you next time. And we'll be back with the rest of the show.
Good morning, Vail.
One of the longest-running syndicated television series is back. America's Black Forum, a weekly series highlighting the latest in our lifestyles, business, entertainment, and finance. We introduce you to entrepreneurs who are making their mark in the business world and leaders who are fighting for change.
Welcome to America's Black Forum.
Tune in each week to know what's happening in our world today on America's Black Forum.
I'm Danella Richard. I've made a career traveling the world. I've worked for some of the biggest names in travel, and now I've traded in my business suit for a swimsuit. Swimming with the sharks, swinging at the edge of the world, throwing back a few shots, or shall I say spirits, eating some of the best cuisine, and even making a few furry friends along the way. I invite you to come along with me and discover the world.
From small towns to big cities and everywhere in between, we're covering the great things that are happening right now in the USA. This is Positively America with Ernie Anastas.
Each week, we're going to focus on the great things that are happening every day in the USA. We'll feature change makers.
In every older person, there's a younger person saying, how did this happen?
Innovators.
I talk about design the way some people might talk about like the person they're in love with.
Doers and dreamers.
You can use that recognition to pay it forward.
Ordinary Americans accomplishing extraordinary things.
When you smile, you receive one back most of the time.
We're going to prove to you that optimism and hope are paving the way to an even brighter tomorrow.
We've got a lot of programs that are specifically focused on the children of our fallen heroes.
At Positively America, our mission is to feature good news.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz, where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Yeah, man.
Each week on The Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts, and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss The Tech Show. Check your local listings.
Good morning, Vail.
Thanks so much for tuning into today's episode of Good Morning Vail. I'm your host, Ross Leonard. It's Friday. It's going to be a great weekend out on the mountains, whatever you're doing. There's so much going on. We're in the thick of winter, but get on out there, have a great weekend, and we will see you next time.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. You're home in the Rockies.